What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Yours truly, Ali Mehdaoui here with a brand new episode of the ME Show, and I am fired up and ready to rock and roll. And I got a good one for you today because we're going to be talking about mentorship. Now, if this is your very first time that you are joining us, I highly recommend to you to absolutely 100% share this video because there are many people who will need to hear this message. There are many people in your team, in your organization, in your circle of business, or somebody who's out there maybe trying to do something with their lives. Maybe they have the hope of creating some success at whatever area of their lives, and I'm here to tell you, you need to 100% make this thing happen for them. So I highly, highly recommend. Number two, make sure you give us hearts along the way because we want to make sure that, we're collecting some love. And the one way that you can do that is give us some hearts. Let us know that you are connecting with the message. So I want to talk to you today about mentorship. Is it something important for you? What are the benefits of mentorship? Now, I'm going to share with you my testimonials. I'm going to share with you what I have learned because of mentorship. And then I'm going to share with you what I am doing every single day to pass on into other generations, if you will, of business as, I guess we can call it, the protege of Mehdaoui Enterprise. Now, again, I cannot stress this enough. Let me just go ahead and do my part because, as you know, we want to make sure that we give the masses everywhere that they are, because we are broadcasting right now as we speak on Facebook. We are broadcasting right now as we speak in Twitter. We are broadcasting right now as we speak on Facebook. We are broadcasting right now as we speak on YouTube. And we want to definitely share with you how to do that portion as well everywhere. But the one thing that I can tell you is, unless you have a mentor, unless you have someone that has the goodies that you personally have or want to have, you're probably going to be somewhat left on the dark. And what I mean by that, I try to figure things out throughout my whole career on my own. I try to do every single thing possible to create success. And I, as passionate, as ambitious, as excited, as energetic as I can be every single day, I lacked guidance. And what I mean by that, I went through error and trial every single time. And then I had to go like sometimes 3 to 5 different things to realize, oh my God, now I get it. I messed up the last 5 times. Now here's what happened when I ended up realizing, I need somebody who can mentor me. I need somebody who can coach me. I need somebody who can get me in the right direction out of what I needed in my business. Now, by the way, quick news for you, or announcement, or whatever you want to call it. We just have been selected as a contributor and an author for the Network Marketing Magazine. So every single month, we're going to have an article in the Network Marketing Magazine, which we are definitely excited about, to give back and mentor and give everything that we have learned. So it just kind of goes to show you what building your own brand and being consistent and hard work and dedication. And thank you for all of you who have allowed us to do what we do every single day. So, I'm going to stay kind of in topic with what we just literally wrote about today. And what we wrote about was mentoring. And I thought to myself, what a great way to kind of segue into the show. And then immediately after, by the way, at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, we have an exclusive closed group webinar. It's complimentary, about branding and building a business identity and having the ability to build an international business. So it is a packed night nonetheless, and I hope that you yourself are doing the right thing and inviting the masses to this generic information. We're not selling any product or service for any company or any service or anything for that matter. We're just giving you value. So I'll go back to my testimony. So I went ahead for 8 or about 7.5 out of the 9 years that I've been in business and try to figure things out on my own. And I have. I'm not going to tell you I failed all the way. It was always error and trial, but it just cost me a whole lot. And I've had many mentors, that were either uplines of mine in a network marketing company. They were, coaches from other companies that I kind of just reached out to, and I said, hey, can you mentor me? Can you teach me? Can you educate me? Can you help me? And sometimes they give you a nugget. Sometimes they'll share with you, a few minutes sometimes you catch them as a lobbyist in between convention events and whatnot. And I took whatever I could take and kind of put my own twist on it. And I've had many opportunities many times to be mentored by, many great individuals. I've been part of, generic seminars. And at the end, they will say, oh, we have this program for mentorship, for coaching, for this, for that. It's only $300. It's only, $99. And I was always like, well, I can do it on my own. I don't want to spend money. I don't want to spend money. And then I've come to realize that it cost me 5 to 10 times more going through the error and trial, and also the business that I was losing, instead of actually just doing the right thing on the first time. So about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago exactly, I decided to invest in myself. I decided to go for a coach, a mentor. Most of you know him. He happens to be Bob Heilig, your virtual upline, and he has a host of different services and products and programs and whatnot. And the first year itself, we participated in a mastermind program, and it was for many people, probably no one would want to spend that much money on a mastermind. I mean, we're talking about a 5-figure investment one time, right? And the thing that has happened within the very first month, we went ahead and we got introduced to the #1 podcast in iTunes for MLM and for business, MLM Nation. And we went ahead and when you combine all the platforms that people got to hear us on, I mean, literally within the very first day, we had like tens of thousands of people who listened to us and our message. We went ahead and we released a book immediately after, that summer of 2016. We went ahead, the masses in the Networking Times magazine where we contributed. We went ahead and we had so many different opportunities of consulting, of coaching, of training, and we literally cleared a 6-figure income, just from our brand alone, because we said once and for all, hey, let's go ahead and make a commitment to invest in ourselves, and let's do this thing right. So for me personally, and this is not for everybody, not everybody's ready to invest in themselves. Not everybody's ready for mentorship. I mean, listen, I'll tell you what I tell everybody. Some people say I can't afford private coaching. I'm like, that means you're not ready for private coaching. I mean, 98% of what I do is public. 98% of what I do, literally, I am giving it all out every single day. And the 2% is a little bit exclusive. There's a lot more that is given on that 2% for those who are ready. And if your mindset is, I'm not ready for mentorship, clearly you're not. So I'm here to tell you that anticipate whatever effort, investment, time, energy you're putting into your business to come back 10 times, good or bad. That's why mentorship is very crucial for you. Now, how do you know that you have the right mentor? How do you know that you have the right people who are actually working with you? Now, some people, and I tell you the mistakes that I used to say. Well, Tony Robbins is on YouTube. Gary Vee is on YouTube. Les Brown is on YouTube. Ray Higdon is on YouTube. Bob Heilig now has a podcast, right? I can personally go ahead and get all that information. Ali Mehdaoui is on SoundCloud, YouTube, everywhere, right? So I don't have to go ahead. But then here's what I realized. Unless you have an actual physical human being that is as invested in your winning streak, as invested in your success as you are, you're not going to have the same exact results. Meaning that I was trying to take everything that was being put out there on a generic platform and say, I'm going to apply it to me. But when I went ahead and I said to a real human being, can you work with me side by side? They started to customize all that greatness that they have done for themselves, and they actually created it just for me. Not only that, they went ahead and they gave me all their cheat sheets. They gave me all their content. They gave me all their connections. They gave me all their relationships. They gave me every platform of exposure. That is the 2%. And then I never understood that at the very beginning. And then I started seeing myself just excel compared to everybody else. Everybody with a camera right now is a coach, is a mentor. But only the select few are actually able to monetize. And the difference is the few have decided to invest on themselves by grabbing every single tool of success that is available out there by that coach, that mentor that is out there that they look up to, and they applied it on a very strategic style and strategic way. I was, again, making mistakes, and I'm sharing this with you as a testimonial so you do not make the very same mistake. Many people want to grow, they want to help, they want to assist, they want to inspire, they want to motivate. But there's only one simple way that you can do that, by you yourself doing it yourself. I mean, ask yourself a question. What is the one thing that you know for a fact you lack efficiency on? You know, that one thing that you yourself feel like, man, I really need to be doing this and I struggle at it. And even if you say to yourself, I wish I could afford it. See, that, just the fact that you said that, that is exactly what you need to work on full force, head on, right away, in able to create that message that you want to give to people. You want it to be a testimonial. Do you think I would have the confidence, the mindset, the strength, and the fortitude to be in front of a camera right now and tell you all my mistakes? I'm only telling you all my mistakes because I have overcome them, and you do the same exact thing. You overcome your mistakes, and then you start talking about the BS, meaning beautiful stories. That's what the BS really stands for me. Every time I'm going through some struggle, yes, I am going to fight with it. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to struggle on my own, or my wife and I are struggling into a certain situation and whatnot. But once we overcome it, it becomes a testimonial, an example to others. That, to me, what mentorship is about. Mentorship is representing an idea of betterment, representing a movement that has progress. So the person that is mentoring you right now, they might be doing the best they can do with what they know, but are you getting the best of what you need to be receiving, of what you deserve, or what you specifically need to your business? I'll share with you a message that I've received earlier this afternoon from a gentleman by the name of Jason Snow. And if you're watching, Jay, whether in recorded or live, we love you. And, you know, the one thing that he said was, you know, I'll be honest with you, Ali. I don't want to get involved in any network marketing company. I don't want to sell any product or service. I want to focus on me. And I said to him, well, congratulations. Welcome to my 8 o'clock webinar. And he said, perfect. I thought this was an MLM company because, you know, my career was built on MLM. My career, I've built a network in 9 different countries. So he thought that the webinar we're doing at 8 o'clock was just about selling a product or marketing a product and whatnot. So I made sure that he understood that, no, this was more about building an international brand, about standing out, about having a differentiation, about having an identity that only you out of 7 billion people in the world have. Means no one can compete with you with who you are. And that is what my mentor taught me. This is why we stand out as a company, as a brand, as a name. There's only one of me, no pun intended, right? There's only one Mehdaoui enterprise, and I no longer have to compete. I now give everything with abundancy. Abundancy? Yeah, that's a word. I give everything with love, with generosity, because I know, yes, I'm giving all my recipes out, but there's only one chef that can cook the way I cook. So that's why you yourself have to acquire a mentor that works with you on you, specifically customize your path, specifically customize your way of doing business, your journey, your needs, your wants, not just let me market and sell. Teach me how to sell. Everybody can sell. You may say to yourself, I wish I don't have any customers. No, it's just a little bit of adjustments. The problem is you have your own style of selling, but you're not paying attention to it because you're just going with what everybody else has been doing, what everybody else is doing right now. And you're telling yourself, because of the lack of experience or exposure or whatever it could be for yourself, you went ahead and you just started doing what everybody else is doing. And again, testimonial moment, I've made that mistake. I used to copy Bob Heilig 100% of the time. I mean, literally, word for word, the haircut, the clothing. I went to start getting, you know, slim fit suits. So I'm like, if I look, act, talk, speak like him the same way I studied the guy, I'm going to have the same success. And then he went ahead and made a 7-figure income, you know, with his brand. And I was left behind. Not necessarily physically, but I was not making a 7-figure income with Mehdaoui Enterprise. And it started like, okay, I'm not him. The whole idea of building my own brand is to have my own identity, my own personal brand, my own message. Well, what is that doing by me just duplicating and copying what he is. So that's why I highly recommend to you is get a mentor that is just as invested in you as you are in them. Now, we've been talking for this whole month. We've had 2 incredible webinars, 3 hours total worth of coaching and teaching, and we've been working with you all on creating your business identity. And I want to just highlight the 4 things, and we're going to go over this in detail tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you haven't had a chance to register for it, you still can do, because once 8 o'clock hits, we lock the webinar. No one will be able to get on it. It's workwithali.com/strategy. That is workwithali.com/strategy. It is complimentary. It's an hour and 15, hour and a half worth of content that has built us a fortress and allowed us to be working from home. So, you know, the things that we're going to be focusing on are the 4 principles that we believe in as a company that we highly recommend you look for a mentor that helps you out with is 1, you got to build a vision. I need to know where you're heading. If I can't see, if my eyes are closed and you're telling me, just follow me, Ali, I'll get you there, I have doubts. And when I have doubts, activities don't happen. It's called analysis paralysis. I'm always looking, am I going to fall? Am I going to fall? Am I going to not make it? So with that, you might not be expressing your vision to the masses. The second thing we talk about is building a culture. See, what culture do you want to build? I mean, are you trying to build a culture of an empowered network, a women's network, a youth's network, established couples, millennials, whatever it is that you connect with the most is who you are going to be building the best with. So if you don't identify the culture that you are trying to build with, well, guess what? Again, you're just in the wilderness. You're telling everybody else who's hungry, and everybody's going to raise their hand, but you have no idea who likes to eat what. What if you have the best filet mignon, right? Some of you have like the best product or service in the world, and you're walking around saying, my company is the best. But what if you're walking around with those steaks, and your audience are a bunch of vegans? Doesn't matter how good that steak is, does it? So that's why you have to identify your culture. That's why you have to identify your demographic. The next thing we talk about is, what problem are you and only you solving? A problem that no one else can solve. Because here's what I can guarantee you. I don't care what company, product, service you are in. I can put it on Google right now. I'll find hundreds of people around you in your zip code who are doing it. So what makes you stand out? What problem do you, not your product, do you solve within people? And we help you overcome that as well. The third thing is, what is your business budget? Listen, I don't care if you're network marketing, affiliate marketing, I don't care how bad or broke you can be, you have to have a budget for your business, even if it's just $50 a month. You know, $50 a month can create 5 boosted videos on Facebook ads, and all of a sudden you have an audience. So you have to designate and identify a monthly budget for your business that is non-negotiable, that is part of every single thing that you do within your business. If you don't have a business budget, guess what? Again, freestyling it. Think about your own household. What do? When you make your money, you know exactly the money you're accolating for certain bills. You know the money you're accolating for certain, for food, for grocery, for, gas money and all that kind of stuff. And if you don't, you're in the type of situation where you're living paycheck to paycheck, not because you don't have the resources, but because you're not organized. You don't have an actual budget. You're a mess. You're just spending out loud with emotions. I highly recommend to you to develop and build a simple budget for yourself, a minimum amount of dollars every single month that you are non-negotiable about, that you know for a fact that you're going to accolade to your business. And if you don't use it, good for you. Add it to the following month. So now you have $100 to invest in your business. And if you don't use it 3-4 months in a row, now you have $200, $300. Guess what? The next time you go to a seminar and you hear that speaker that says, hey, we have an offer for you that usually it's $2,000 and just today we're leaving it for $299, guess what? Because you had a budget and you were disciplined as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a CEO of your own company, not just a sales rep in a network marketing company, or, even if some of you are traditional business owners, and guess what you do? You are playing a role of a cashier behind the counter of your own business. I highly recommend to you to not do that, to not make that mistake. Become the great CEO that you were meant to be, the entrepreneur that you are designed to be. You started your career career as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, not to sell stuff, but to develop a movement. You believed in a vision. You believed in your role. You know, when you're by yourself and you've pictured yourself speaking in front of a stage or in front of an audience and doing your acceptance speech for an award, and you were motivating and mentoring the masses, that's what you got to act on. And unless you have these 4 fundamentals, and guess what? Without the right mentorship, because mentorship is accountability. Mentorship is not from a person. Mentorship is a process that you can get from a person or a book or whatever it is that you decide on doing. But the more live that human element is with you, the more you're going to have. I mean, I'll tell you what I do with my clients. I make all their social media platforms as my favorite. So the moment they post something, I see it. And then immediately, hey, change this, tweak that, add this, caps on, hashtags, change this. Add the captions on that video. Make it an ad. Don't spend too much money. Hey, that's not as effective. Why? Mentorship. You need somebody who's just as invested in you. And again, you do whatever is right for you. Again, some of you are going to be ready for that next step, that advanced attendance. Some of you are not. And wherever you may be, don't feel bad. Don't put your head down and say, oh, this sucks, I can't have a mentor. No, there's plenty of mentorship available online. Just make sure you apply those basics, those fundamentals first, and then it'll get you ready for the big explosion that you deserve in your business, the positive one, that is. So you know, the next thing that I want to talk about when it comes to mentorship is not about skills as much as you think it is about developing skills. Skills will naturally come if the attitude is accurate and correct. So me, myself, when I looked for a mentor, I watched, and maybe that's a good and bad thing, right? It was good because I was doing an observation throughout the whole process, and it was bad because I was watching a millionaire develop right before my eyes instead of me aligning myself with him, right? But I've watched, how is the consistency of the activity? How is the consistency of what was preached versus what was actually done? How is the consistency in the positivity, in the, you know, whatever it is that was going on? Is that person as real and genuine as he claims to be on video? I had to see it for myself, right? So look for a mentor that is as real can get. You know, and maybe this is the millennial in me speaking, but I connect more with people who have an open, comfortable way of life, meaning that they are not afraid of, you know, broadcasting every now and then a couple of, you know, bits and pieces of who they truly are, that they allow people into their lives. That's who I connect with. For you, it might not be that person. For you, it may be just the Mr. or Mrs. Professional all the time. I personally connect with people who are comfortable in their own skin, who are vulnerable, who are okay. You know, my mentor, my breakthrough moment with him, when I said, like, I gotta talk to him, it was, he had a Periscope rant video where he started really picking up some momentum for himself, and some of other leaders in other companies started bashing him, that he was doing this wrong and he was doing that wrong, and just, you know, out there to take advantage of people. And then he pulled a whole book worth of testimonials of the people who were in the downline of those leaders who were bashing him. And he was actually sharing, here is this person from your downline, and here's what he or she said. And then he started talking about the increase of their business, the growth that they were experiencing. And then he got really emotional. He took it personal that someone was coming after his character, while all he was doing was exploring his passion and allowing people to kind of come into his journey. And he was just creating success story after success story. So it wasn't right. And then he got really, really emotional. I mean, he broke down on camera, and I have known him for years. He is we call him the ultimate professional. He could never, you know, have a moment like that. He could never just, you know, and I was like, wow, this just got real. He's the real deal. If that's the passion that he has about people, and I never seen it, shame on me, right? So somebody who is okay to be vulnerable. Now, the ultimate piece is someone who's generous. You know, I've had the privilege, the blessings to have a mentor that has been so generous, that gives over and beyond, that shows love within actions, not just words, literally, I have a library of books that I get from my mentor. I get tools. I get tripods and, and lenses and microphone, whenever something is off, he'll always hit me up. Hey, change this. If I send an email newsletter, he'll critique it right away, or he'll tell me, hey, next time send it to me before you do things that he didn't really have to in the first time when we're working together. Even, as of a couple of months ago, we had a big hit in our business where, one of our contracts was gone, of a 5-figure a month contract. And then he didn't even know about that because I had this mindset of I'm always positive, everything is going to work out. And he reached out. He's like, hey, what's going on? I see, I can notice the change. Something is not what it used to be. And from there, he opened a whole side of my brain that I never realized. And he kind of, in a nice way, without him, really, he didn't have to. He brought us right back where we needed to be, the focus that we needed to have. And, he just welcomed us again into his world. And I couldn't, by the way, maybe this is the appropriate time to do this. Bob Heilig, we are forever grateful for you not giving up on us and allowing us to participate in your success, in your journey. And, we're now passing it on to everybody else because I know he watches these when they go on the recorded version. So, as a recap, because we're about 2 minutes until we say bye-bye, and then we're going to take a quick break and get into that exclusive global, international, and I say global because we're going to have people from Ghana who have registered to it, from the UK, people from Guam, people literally from France, actually, and then obviously the United States. So we are absolutely excited for tonight, and this is going to be the third, and we have one more this Saturday, and then after that we're moving on from this topic, so you'll never have the opportunity to see this again. So I highly recommend to you to definitely register at workwithali.com/strategy. Invest an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and a half in your time, in yourself, and become the star you're supposed to be. Become that celebrity you belong. Become that CEO who's in charge of his or her business. So as a recap, mentorship is a cheat sheet. Mentorship is access. Mentorship is connections to those big time relationships that you want to have. Mentorships opens the relationships and opportunities to whatever that mentor has. You want to write a book? We have access, as an example, we have access to publishers, right? You want to be interviewed? We have access to many different people with successful podcasts. You want to be part of different processes, projects, companies, or what have you? We have access to that. That's what we are, a segue from where you are to where you want to be, and we give you all of our content, and obviously we work with you to create what we have done for ourselves. So that is what mentorship. Mentorship is a development of attitude. Skills comes after. I don't care how skillful you are or how much you want to develop a skill, unless your attitude gets adjusted. That's what mentorship does, because it is an accountability system. You are going to struggle until you develop that. That's why I highly recommend that you invest in a mentor that works with you, on your attitude, and customize that process completely. So that is the benefit of mentorship. So I hope the ME show brought some value to you. Please give us some hearts. Please give us a share. Please share with the masses that need to hear this message. And remember, this will be also on a recorded version on YouTube, and it's going to also be on an audio version on SoundCloud at some point later on tonight. And we hope that it added the value. And remember, change starts with me. And here at Mehdaoui Enterprise, we focus on helping entrepreneurs and companies to go from struggling companies or entrepreneurs to become success stories by better branding, better strategies and techniques, and more importantly, creating that breakthrough that you deserve and you want, designed exclusively and selectively just for you. So we appreciate you again, and we love to have you again and again and again. We will see you at the webinar at the top of the hour. Workwithali.com/strategy. We will see you later. Take care, everybody.